Bro, I want to give you the three-step pipeline process I used to build a business to $10,000 per month at 19. Took me 6 months to get there. I want to get you there on a faster timeline. So let's get into it. What is the three-step process? It is three domains that if you take someone through this journey, you will get the sale, you'll get the conversion, and you'll have a lifetime customer. And that is the name of the game if you want to make 10,000 repeatedly month after month in your specific business model. And it works for every business, okay? What is this process? Number one is outreach. I'm going to go into the actual skills for each of these and a cheat code you can use that I learned from my independent journey that's going to help you. The first step is outreach. That's the first stage of the pipeline. I want you to think of bringing this customer through this pipeline. The second step is sales. The third and final step is actual service delivery and like delivering your product. Okay, and I'm going to give you multiple examples so you understand this. This is all you need to know in business to get to the first 10K per month mark, because those are your three constraints. You're either not doing enough outreach, or you have a poor outreach channel. You're not doing enough sales, or you have a poor sales skills, presentation, all of that. And then finally, service delivery. You're not retaining customers. You don't have a good product. And that's why people don't come back. They don't buy more with you. They don't buy longer with you. So, the first step with outreach, how do you get that right? With my specific story, I did cold email with a Loom video. And the reason why I love cold email over like cold calling or other outreach channels, it's so low friction. You just type one email and then you can mass send it to like multiple leads that you can find in specific lead scraping tools that I'll get into as well. But cold email is so powerful. That's how I got to my first 10K month, was through getting clients through cold email, sending them a Loom, and then hopping on the second thing, which is a sales call. So again, there's sub skills in all of these. So in outreach for your specific business model, you need to pick one channel and go all in on that. That's the fastest way. If you just focus on one thing, because right now, bro, you suck. You suck at outreach, you suck at sales, you suck at product development. So if you try to do 10 different things, that's like the equivalent of the guy going to the like starting his fitness journey. And he's like, I'm gonna bike, I'm gonna hit the gym, I'm gonna run a mile, I'm gonna learn how to do freaking gymnastics. Like it doesn't work. You overwhelm yourself and you don't get enough repetitions in one thing for it to work. For me, I stuck with cold email and I sucked in the beginning, but I eventually got better. I started writing better emails and they started converting into people saying yes and actually hopping on calls and listening to my Loom video. And that was the second sub skill in outreach. So there are sub skills in all of these. And as an entrepreneur, it's your duty to get good at creating this pipeline for your specific business. And it changes on if you do a new business. But for your current business, what is the one outreach channel that's going to be the most valuable tool for reaching out to people? What is it? And look at competitors and see what's working for them. I knew cold email was working in my, business model, so I went all in on that. For you, it might be organic YouTube. For you, it might be Facebook ads or some sort of paid traffic. It could be cold calling. It could literally be so niche. You could be going to gyms and like taught. Maybe you have a health and wellness product, and that's the best way to get people and like just get leads. Think of outreach as just getting people that are interested in you. They're not buying from you yet, but they're interested in what you have to say or what you have to offer. You have to get good at those skills. So if you're not even getting sales or product development, I want 90% of your time this next week, this next day, to be on outreach, creating things for outreach, whether that's the Instagram post for your business, whether that's a YouTube video like this, whether that's a cold email copy you're going to send out. 90% of your time, that's the constraint right now. You have to tackle it as constraints. You don't focus on the 10 steps ahead. Right now, your outreach is not even working, so there's no point even working on sales or product development. So you have to power level that skill by watching videos like this that are specific to that outreach channel. Watch like if you're doing cold email, for example, watch a shit ton of videos on improving your cold emails and like going deep into that, all the guides using instantly, all those sorts of things. And if you want the full system, so you can just shortcut this process and you have every single part of the pipeline set up for you, and you know the cheat codes in every single one of them that I use that work for me, click the first link in the description. I created something very special for you that I wish someone gave me when I started my business journey, but it's going to put you on a much faster track towards your first 10K month, because you're going to avoid all the mistakes I made. I can't talk about everything in this video, obviously, so click the first link in the description. Now, we have outreach. Let's say you have outreach going and you're actually getting people responding to you. Like, you're not booking calls yet, but people are responding to you and replying to you saying yes or no to what you have to say. The second thing you need to do is master sales. Okay, and the way you do that, and again, there's sub skills for every one of these domains, these three domains. Sales is about persuasion. But it's more specific than that. That's what everyone tells you online. It's like persuasion. What do you say? But it's like, can you close in one call versus two calls? Do you know the skills that differentiate those two things? How well is your pitch deck? A entrepreneur that's 1 month in and an entrepreneur 3 years in, the guy 3 years in is gonna make a way more stronger pitch deck. And people don't talk about these things. They just talk about like the high level things. But these are the small things that make the world of a difference and your conversion rate better. Is, can you be persuasive on the call? What images do you display on the call? What do you say? What's the format? Again, if you want the system I use, click the first link in the description. But power level your sales skills again by reading books on sales, going deep into sales, watching videos on sales, you know, and buying things that like give you an edge. Okay? And then product fulfillment, service delivery. And I want to go through some examples of like every business can be distilled down into one of these three things, or two of these three things. Like let's take Panda Express. Their outreach is just getting into venues like malls and campuses and stuff like that so people can see their name brand. And then when you actually go in, then they get the sale, right? That's their sales process. They have like your food, and then you have the people getting your credit card and paying whatever tip, whatever, all that stuff. And then they have the actual product delivery, the service delivery, which is their food. And the better they make their food, the more likely you're going to stay. Every business can be distilled down into that. My MedSpa agency, outreach, cold email to Loom, sales call, 1 to 2 call close, service delivery. And then again, if you want to know exactly what I did, click the first link in the description. I'm going to make more videos on each of these processes too, so subscribe. It could be applied to anything, even Apple. You have, you know, they have paid traffic, which is like Super Bowl. They're going to make a commercial. They run actual ads on Facebook, and then they have word of mouth marketing, obviously. That's their outreach. But they got really good at one. And if you look at it, every business varies in their outreach. Like in the beginning, they start with something like Tesla. They started with like private events with like high end investors. Now they don't do any sort of marketing, but that was their way of getting awareness. And then they were in the news like, oh my God, this new electric car company is like creating a product, and like Arnold Schwarzenegger and all these guys were invited to this private party. That's how they built awareness and people got interested. Then they have their sales process when you go to a Tesla dealership, and then they have their actual product. So everything is that. You just need to pick one thing, one sub skill for each of it, get really good at it. Start with the outreach sub skill. Once you've mastered that, and you'll know you've mastered that if you have people reaching out to you back when you send an outreach, or people booking calls, or or actually taking the first step in the process of joining your business. Once you've mastered that, then you go into sales, and then you go into that. Don't worry about anything else. You don't need to watch another Alex Ramosa YouTube video again. You don't need to watch anything. You don't need to just get good at the current constraint that I've just told you. For a lot of you, it's outreach. You haven't even started your business, so all you need to do is focus on reaching out to people that might be interested. I'm going to go into way more depth on what to say in your outreach in my next video. But until then, I can't wait to see you in my guy. Click the first link in the description if you want to take this seriously, start your business, achieve actual confidence in your business so you can get to your income goals, so you can surpass your own expectations, your family expectations, and you can build real skills that last. Because again, entrepreneurship are these three skills: deep work and confidence in each of these three domains: outreach, sales, service delivery. Peace out, my guy.